Generic greetings and welcome to Preview plus Empyrion Galactic Survival. This is a 3D open world space adventure game. Translated, what it basically means is that you have to survive on a planet and you will collect resources and build a base and then a little vehicle and a little space vehicle and then exit the planet and go into space and then go to other planets and hopefully have a lot of fun while you're doing all of that. So I've played about 2.5 to 3 hours of the game so far. This is certainly a first impressions, not a review, and honestly my first impressions are that this game is quite big. So yeah, it took me a while to even get just the basics down, and I think that's where a lot of people are going to stumble, but either way, first impressions, not a review, and also this is still work in progress. It is early access, so the typical disclaimers apply. Nothing you see is final, everything is subject to change, any bugs or lack of polish in places, etc, etc. Please attribute it to its in-depth status. So I'm going to do a couple of games, actually. I'm going to go to new game, and I'm going to do a survival game, okay? It's just going to be called Generic Game Survival, and we're going to start the game, and you get a starting location, and we will load in, and I'm going to show you about maybe 20 minutes-ish, hopefully, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, of the survival aspect of the game and show you what you really need to do, and then I'm going to jump in creative and just basically show you what you will get later on in the game. I think that's the overall idea, and then you get a good sense of what the game is like. So we have started off. What the hell was that? I hope there's some beasties over there. Right, so the planets are, at the moment, semi-procedurally generated, okay? So the points of interest and things are randomly placed, but, so the points of interest are manually placed, so that's like a crashed spaceship over there. Over there, I believe, you can just see the top of the tower. This is our crashed this is our, like, survival escape pod, and the rest is sort of randomly generated. The plan is that, eventually all the planets will be randomly generated, they'll also be further away, and there'll be randomly generated galaxies and things like that, but you know, that's later on. So this is our pod. What do we need to do? Well, we need not to die. That's the overall objective, I guess. Overall objective obviously is to have fun, but in the short term we need to not die. Bottom left we can see our health, our food, our oxygen, and stamina. If the first 3 get to 0, you die, and then you have to respawn. We've got a speed there as well, and also where we can have a jetpack. Yeah, we have a little jetpack. Yeah, there we go. We can jetpack around. And we also have gravity, which is currently on a planet. You can't turn it off, but obviously if you've got a gravity generator in space, then you can. That there is a planet, and yes, you can go to that planet. Not in this bit, you understand, because this is survival, and it'll take me hours to even, well, get a little base up and running. So what do I need to do? Well, this is my crash pod. I need to think about my health, my food, my oxygen, and my stamina. I've got a couple of pieces of equipment. I've got a gun. Hang on. There we go, and it can fire. There you go, and it sounds pretty large. We've got this mining tool, which we can mine out the ground like so, and it does actually deform the ground and things like that, which is pretty cool. But we can't really do anything else at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, and I'm going to collect some oxygen bottles, some fuel packs, and probably an oxygen generator. In this cargo pod, we've got projectile pistol and some ammo, and some drill charges, and a med kit. I'm going to pick that up there as well. I'm going to go over to this side, and again, look in the cargo pod. We've got loads of ingots and all that sort of thing. We're going to pick up all of the ingots. This one, we have plants, I believe. Yeah, there's loads of plants. And now what we're going to do with all that stuff? Well, first I'm going to reload my pistol. There we go. No animations yet, but, you know, it reloaded. You can see on the bottom right, shows ammo and type. We can actually go outside as well. This is my character, as you can see. Look there. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. Let's just change that. And yeah, we will... can you see the jump pack working? Oh, yeah, you can see the jump pack on. Look at that. Pretty cool. By the way, I'm pointing out now that, for me at least, this does not run well. Right, it does run like a bag of hammers, although I am recording and blah, blah, blah. So this is actually running at a lower resolution than I normally run the game at. It's actually, basically the resolution that you're watching this on, basically 720p, because that's all I can upload. And it's also down to the lowest graphics settings, which, it's not an ugly game by any means. In fact, highest graphics, it is actually fairly cool. The textures don't really change, but the lighting and stuff does. But yeah, it's not an ugly game, but it's not the best looking. But like I said, it's performance issue for me, maybe yours will vary. My machine isn't the best, sadly. So what I'm going to do anyway, I want to start to build stuff. So I'm going to go up to my fuel tank, and I'm going to open the fuel tank, and I'm going to shove in a fuel pack. Okay, there we go. And what that does is you can see these light up, and that basically says we now have a bit of fuel in them. I can then jump in my cockpit. There we go, this is cockpit, and I can turn on the power. Okay. power turns on, and as you can see on the right hand side, it shows you we have 20.8 minutes of power left. But that doesn't really tell you about this, okay? That doesn't really tell you if this is working. This is our constructor, and this is where we can make things. I'm going to put all of the ingots and things like that we found in there, and that allow me to make different things. So as you can see, there are several different tabs. So there's our templates. So we've got things like, what's this one? That's for weapons and such. Weapons and items, so we can make flashlights and such. Each item you go to make has a set of requirements on the right hand side. And this next one is building blocks, and you can build some hull grey. There you go. There's some like a ground vehicle starter. There's a base starter. Loads of different things. So, should we make a base starter? A base starter requires hull block grey, 8 of, and 1 core. Now, to make the hull block grey, we need metal plate 2. Now, at the moment, you can't click on, say, hull block, and if you can build metal plates, which I know I can if I scroll down, we should be able to build metal plates from the next one. There's metal plates there. You need 5 iron ingots. It doesn't do it, like, you can't just click on, say, the hull block, and it won't build the metal plates if you can and then build the hull block. It doesn't work like that, which I would hope at some point that is introduced, but you know, we'll see. So I want a total of 8 of them. No, 7 of them actually. There we go. You can't actually cancel. Now, you can't cancel, by the look of it, your construction queue as far as I can tell. Nope, you can't cancel the construction. Oh yeah, you can. No, you can't. You can't cancel a construction tree, which is a bit weird. You'd think you'd be able to click on that to cancel, but you cannot. Ah, well, alpha game is alpha. So we're building that, and then we want to build, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? Then we need to build a core. Well, I'm not going to build a core because I know on this side, if I go around to here, I can actually open that up, and there we go. Not that one. That one, there is a core, and I'll pick a work light up as well. So I'm going to pick up a core, go back, and then we will shove a core in the storage, which means I can now build a starter base. Base starter, not bad at all. Okay, fantastic. Right, so we need to survive, we need to build a base. I'm going to build a base somewhere. Where are we going to build it? Well, I reckon over there, near that water, because that seems like a fairly good idea. But as you can see, we've got a bit of a problem. My oxygen is going down, so I need to fill up my oxygen. I've already got oxygen tanks in my inventory. As you can see, there's some oxygen bottles, but we can't just put it in our mouth and go, like squirty cream or something. No, we can't do that. What we need to do, we need to shove the oxygen bottles in these containers, which, as you can see, on the, well, on the top it says oxygen tank. It says press T to access oxygen tank. Also on the top right, by the way, it shows us how hot the planet is, and also the time until the sun sets, and also the overall game time and such. By the way, at the moment, there is no, what's the term? Volumetric oxygen. As in, it's not, planets don't have oxygen in this version of the game. So basically, you always need to keep your suit filled with oxygen. It's classed as you always breathing the oxygen from your suit. So even though this planet you would assume has oxygen because it's got plants and wildlife, it doesn't technically have it yet. But you know, that's a minor thing because you just have to make sure you have oxygen. How are we going to get oxygen? Well, you put them in there, and then this bit, this is an oxygen station. You just stand near it, and you fill your oxygen up. Fantastic. We also need food, which I think in here we have some corn dogs. Do we not? No, we don't. Over this side. There should be some rations somewhere. Emergency rations. There we go. We got some emergency rations, which we can then put over on our left-hand side. And then we can go... emergency rations, tasty. Right, so now that I have waited enough, this should now have, yes, it has a base starter, so I'm going to pick that up. I'm also going to set this going. I want to get metal plates. I want at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that gives you 10 in total, so we have 50 of them. And then I want to say make, that requires 2 metal plates, so we can say make, we'll say 20 of them, and then we need a couple of slopes, I think. Yeah, that should do quite nicely. That's a ramp steep, and that's a hull slope. Now, every item that you can make has a placeable. You can see it says on the right hand side. They all have statistics and stuff. I'm not going to run through it because honestly, some of it I don't know, just genuinely don't know, so I'm just going to be honest with you. And also, well, it's like one of the things where every item has a big load of stuff. It's best just to tell you the basics first. Every item... Oh, God, that's building, so I can't mouse over it. Every item has some stats. Craft time, armor, which is generally what it takes to be destroyed. Hit points. Well, armor is how much it absorbs. You know, hit points is what it takes to be destroyed. A mass, and then placeable. That's the thing you need to worry about. GV is ground vehicle. SV is small vehicle. CV is capital vehicle. And BA is... CA is that capital vehicle? I think so. And BA is base, okay? So... Certain items can only be placed in other areas. Let me just quickly check my cockpit. I have 0.6 minutes remaining on this one, so I'm going to put another couple of fuel packs in there, and that makes sure that this can keep on running, and that'll build while I'm away. In fact, to be honest with you, it's almost done anyway, so we might as well wait. I'm going to pick up the hull blocks once it's done. I've already got my base starter. I've already got my oxygen generator. I'm going to pick up my hull block and these slopes, which are done now, and there we go. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside that and I'm going to turn it off because there's no point in wasting fuel. Right, so I think I want to build my base, but instead what I'm going to do is actually run over here to the Promethium deposit, as you can see over there. Now, you do need to collect resources. This is the survival mode after all, so you will need to collect resources, and that will entail you running around the planet, actually discovering them. So whether you just run around or build a ground vehicle and manage your resources. Obviously, my stamina is going down because I'm running. Once I run out of stamina, I can't run any further. Now, I'm pretty sure. Let me just pull my pistol out. There's probably going to be some beasties around here. Look at that. It's actually quite expansive, isn't it? Nice. Yeah. You need to obviously collect resources and collect food as well. So I'm going to collect this aloe vera. Don't know why. Don't know what this weird plant is, but we'll pick it. No, it's already been picked. This one is a really weird plant. There we go. Pick that up. Alien thorn. Right. So we need to run over here, and we need to get some promethium. That's fuel. But I have a feeling that there might be some bad guys. Oh, there's some neodymium over there, whatever that is. And is there any beasties around here? That's a beastie. And that looks like some sort of scorpion coming straight towards my face. That's not good. Yeah, we'll just light it up from here then. And it's dead. That was coming straight towards me. Now, obviously, there's different animals in the game, and when it goes dark, it can change, you know, depending on whether it's light or dark. There's some, like, alien teeth and some raw meat. Meat and other food has a perish time, so you don't really want to go over that, because obviously it just becomes rotten meat. You need to store it or cook it. But yeah, there's different beasties and stuff, and you really need to be aware that, you know, some of them are hostile, some of them are not. There's also non-beastie things like drones and stuff, which we'll get onto later. So we need to get this promethium deposit, so I'm just going to mine into the ground. There we go. That seems to be mining quite well. Now, the left click sort of opens things up, and the right click sort of smooths things over, so I don't really care about that one. I'm just going to dig. I'm going for the promethium, which is blue. There we go. And as you can see, we've now got some promethium down there. We can pick all that up, not bad at all. Keep digging away, and I think that'll do us quite nicely. We've got enough there, so I can now head off. So, I thought I was stuck, but I'm not. I'm okay. Let's head off, and we'll build our base. So you can see the sun's setting, and it's quite bright. Oh, hello, beastie. Hello, mate. How are you doing? There you go. I don't know why, but the animations and just generally movement seems a bit stuttery. As you can see, it's like sort of stuttering. Yeah, see, it sort of shakes like that. It's a bit weird. I don't know whether it's just my machine just doesn't like the game or some sort of setting, but yeah, that's my experience of it, obviously. Right, so we're going to head over to this water bit. Now, over there, by the way, is a crashed ship that looks sort of... It's either crashed or it's half built. Either way, I would not recommend wandering over because A, it's quite far away, and B, there are drones that hover which have big guns which want to kill you. And that's my heart trying to come out of my chest. That's because I've run out of stamina. So, I'm going to put my base starter in my pocket, or my main slot, and then I can build a base. So, where do I want to build a base? Well, I can just sort of go around and you can see where it's going to be placed. When you build a base, it builds a core in the center. If that core gets destroyed, then I believe you lose control of the base, or you might even, the base might go. I think they just lose control. But you don't want to do that. You don't want that to happen at all. We've also got some blocks that go around it as well. What I want to do, I want to dig down a bit, right? Like this. Dig down a little bit. Where can I place? There we go. And obviously it's all deforming quite nicely, quite lovely in fact. And can I place my base? No, I think my base wants to be placed on the top, you see. It's going to be placed over the water. I think there is a way you can get it under the water, but I'm not entirely sure what that is. Right, so I think we will place it... I think we'll place it over the water here, like that. And there we have a new base. There's our base. And now what I'm going to do is get a slope and a couple of other blocks. And I'm going to place my slope here. You can rotate stuff. There we go. And now I can get to the top of my base. How awesome is my base? It's a bit crap. So I'm going to expand the base by just, I guess, adding onto the side of it. Now you can click and drag, so it's fairly simple. It's really, really powerful actually in terms of how quick you can build stuff. And we can go up here and we can just expand the base. You can hold control to build a group like that, and yeah, you can quickly make some stuff. There you go. We now have a base. Well, it doesn't really do anything. What I am going to do though, I'm going to pick up my oxygen generator, and oxygen generators obviously generate oxygen, but they need to be in water, so I'm just going to shove it probably there. Okay, so it should work if I click on it. It currently has no energy source, and it's got an O2 resource quality of 80%. It's based on the area you place it. I'm going to shove some fuel in there. Energy items, 1 energy item, and it is now on. It absorbs, it takes that energy block, and it is now on. It's going to be on for the next 23 minutes, hour minute, and it's going to produce a bottle in basically every 2 minutes, I think that was. So yeah, we'll get a bottle, and then we can use that to survive. So we've already got water, and this is getting dark now. As you can see, it does get quite dark. I think we will get ourselves a work light, and we'll shove it down, mainly just so I remember where my base is. So I'm going to spin the light around, place it there, and that will light up my base. Actually, that's in an absolutely terrible position. I think we'll put it there. That's a much better position. There you go. Although you don't cast shadows yourself. It's a bit weird. Right, so as you can see, it's pitch black. And that's not good. So what else do we need to do? Well, in the long term, there's a lot you can do. There's a lot you will need to do. You will need to get the food. As you can see, I've got gathered bits of food. Now, some of this food is, well, it could be poisonous. You don't really know. Well, sometimes you know, sometimes you don't. Now, let's just collect this stuff here. Collect that. Like that. We got alien plasma, whatever that stuff is. And we can go over to our ship again, and we can get in it, and we'll turn it on. We can actually go to the control panel, by the way, and we can see everything in it. So we can see cockpit, there we go. We can see the core, we can see the fuel tank, generate landing gear. We can turn that off. Don't know why we'd want to turn that off. I guess we're not going to move, so we might as well turn that off. Because it does use energy, we might as well turn it off. Oxygen station, we can turn off. Small constructor. Thruster arm, and we might as well turn the thruster off. We're not going to use that again. So we're going to save a little bit of power. Fantastic. Oh, that changed that. The landing gear is on. Right, and the thruster's still on. Did that reset? It can't have reset. If it has reset, it's going to be a bit annoying. Landing gear is on. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Okay, let me change that. On. And thruster off. RCS is missing. That should do us. That's still on. That's not on. I think that'll be the engine on the back or something, will it? Cockpit's on. Core, fuel tank, generator, landing gear, small constructor, thruster armoured. Pretty sure that's the one at the back. Ah, well, it doesn't matter. It's off nonetheless, so we've actually got 43 power remaining. Fantastic. So, what can we do? Well, there's loads of stuff we could do, honestly. We could build a growing pot, which is basically a sack of mud, and then put some plants in. And you can actually start making things, growing stuff like wheat, and then make things like popcorn and chips and all sorts of stuff that you wanted. Loads of generic units of sustenance. We could build medicine. Build medicine? Yeah, make medicine. Let's just get some oxygen. Ah, lovely. Imagine someone farted in that bottle at one point as well. Ah, that's horrible. Anyway, we got raw meat as well, which, as you can see, it gives us food 70, but minus health, health minus 15, and there's a perish time, which is going down, because obviously it was 20 when I picked it up. Also, we could store that. To store that, we could go to our constructor, and we could say, what's that one there? Components, no, devices. Devices, I could make a, where is it? Cargo box, that wouldn't be very good. Oxygen tank, no. Spotlight, lights, water gens. Fridge, you can make a fridge. You can also make a food processor, which is how you cook stuff. In the long term, I guess you would want to make a small generator and a fuel tank for the base, and then that would power the base up. And then you would, I guess, start making things like the growing pot and have a large constructor to make a bigger things, and then you would progress on to making like a ground vehicle starter, and then progress on to making things that could actually fly. So why would you do all that? Well, I will show you why you would do all that. Let's just go back to the main menu, and we're going to go to new game, and we're going to go creative this time, and we will just go to game creatives 1, and we're going to go on the same planet, and we'll start that again. This isn't random, it's sort of semi-randomly generated. The points of interest are sort of added. So This is creative, so you basically can do the same thing as you did in the survival mode, but on the bottom left you see my statistics, they will not change. This base comes with it, so that's all fine. Actually, the game's running a lot better than it was yesterday, and there was a patch earlier before I tried this. Bear in mind that I'm playing this a day before it's released on Steam, so anything can change. I think there might have been just a weird glitch, and now it's all been fixed because it runs very, very well now. I could probably max the graphics out. Go through the door. There we are. Nice automatic doors. And yeah, we could make loads of stuff. So hang on. I think there was a fridge there. Let's go in here. There we are. Through here. And yeah, there's a kitchen in here. There you go, look. So we've got a kitchen. This is a food processor. We can click on that. Look at all the food we can make. There's loads of stuff. There's a fridge which currently has bottle in it. If we wanted some stuff, honestly, we could just spawn it. There's the creative menu. There is enough in this game to keep you busy, I would say. There is lots of stuff, and there's more being added. And look at that. That's just tools and weapons. Let's just have a quick look around the base. So we've got a growing area over here. This is what I mentioned earlier. So growing tomatoes and other things like that. That's pretty cool. We'll run back this way. We've got a oxygen thing here. Yeah, that's an oxygen tank, which I'm guessing, yeah, it has an oxygen bottle in it. And then down here goes underground, and then you can see, yeah, this is like, I don't know, just a weird underground entrance. There'll be an oxygen generator somewhere. Where is our main generator? What's that? That is a medic station. That is an oxygen station. So we can actually, can we get in the thing? No, I've just turned it off. I've just turned the entire base off, I think. Yeah, I've turned the entire base off. Let's just turn that back on. And I can see all the lights go on and off. It's pretty cool as well. Right, upstairs. We have an upstairs. So this is an elevator. It's not really, it's a bit of a it's a bit of a cop-out. You can hover upwards, which is, you know, I guess it's just what happens. You know, maybe elevators are going to get put in at some point. I don't know, but this is just like hoverway. That is a spaceship. We'll get onto that later. We're going to go up, and this is, a very, very luxurious sort of bedding area. We've got like a nice bed there, toilet. We've got, well, apples in the future, I guess. Everything's white. We've got a nice big TV and a nice sitting area. It's very nice, this base. Although I must confess, I think the person who did it has overdone the luxury a little bit. So I'm going to go down to the bottom floor. And I want to exit here. Why do I want to do that? Well, because I want to jump in the land speeder. This is a ground vehicle. Again, you could make this. You just jump in, and then you get in. And we can even look on the outside if we want to. And then we can go around. And we can just drive around, you see? Pretty cool, right? And you can also do a shift and space. And you can do like a little hover. Actually, you can actually do a bit of a boost. Is that right? You can do a little bit of a boost. Pretty sure you can do a little boost in the air. But we can drive around if we wanted to. There you go. And we can go explorating. We can find things. Has it got weapons? It hasn't got weapons. Oh, we've just crashed on the ground. And I think we've just crashed through a bit of a tree there. Look at that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. The one thing that isn't in the game, which I know a lot of people would really want, is damage. So say, for example, I drive towards this thing here and go, ah! Bang, there you go. We don't cause any damage. Now, that is something that is planned. Now, a lot of people are going to look at this and go, oh, it doesn't have any damage. You can't ram stuff. Well, you can and you will get damage for certain things, I think. But it doesn't, you don't get, like, it hasn't got full structural integrity. So you're not going to get one ship crashing into the other and everything crumpling and breaking apart. But you can damage stuff. So, for example, if I get my pistol out, stuff does get damaged. I mean, look. That is damage, right? And eventually, you can see it's all sort of bent and broken. Eventually, it will break. But we're not really showing you. I'm not really showing you it as well as I could. What if we go upstairs? What if we go upstairs? What's upstairs? Well, that's the boudoir. Let's go back down. Well, in here we have slightly bigger ones, which is like a missile launcher. So, sorry, car. Yeah, that's hitting that quite well. That thing looks a bit damaged now. Yeah, that's broken now. Bits have come off. Yeah, and that's all dented in. Yep, it's broken. You can get a repair tool and repair it as well. Okay, so there's a ground vehicle. This is a base. You're thinking, well, okay, yeah, I've seen this sort of thing before. You're probably thinking, yeah, why not? Yeah, and this is nothing really out the ordinary. There's other games that do this. So, right, this is a spaceship. What do spaceships do? Well, they go into space, don't they? What I'm going to do, I am going to get myself a bit of fuel. Fuel packs, 999 of the bloody things. We're going to go up to our main area here, and we're going to say, you fill it up, and we will fill up the fuel And we'll go this side. And we're going to fill up the fuel. And I think we will do... We don't really need to do the same thing as oxygen because I'm on creative, so I'm not actually going to die. But this thing can run out of fuel. Oh, yes, they are weapons, by the way. Right. So, I'm going to get in. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to take off. And I'm going to go forward. And I'm going to fly around. Now, there is reasons to make ground vehicles over vehicles like this to fly. And that's because these take a lot more resources to build and to power. Now, I do have some weapons. There's a missile launcher. Whoa, they flung us to the left-hand side. Here's a sort of like a little laser gun. There we go. Whoa, look at that. Machine gun, yeah? And yeah, you could probably mind doing that. Sweet. As I said, there are, things of interest. There are reasons to look around. Certain planets will have different things. Obviously, this is a base here. And, there could be all sorts. There's a nice planet there. Imagine if we could visit that. Well, guess what? I'm going to head straight towards the thing. It is rising quite quickly, and the reason for that is because there isn't any way to do any like hyperspace jumps or to travel very, very quickly at the moment. So all of the planets have been purposely put closer together so you can get to them quick. Also, the transition that we're about to experience, because you can see it says distant from orbit on the right-hand side there, the transition between planet and space is a little jarring, as in... Boomf. There you go. It sort of flickers a little bit, and we're now shaking because we are still in the atmosphere, but we are heading out of it, and there we go. There's the planet I was looking at, and if we spin round, we should be able to see the planet I've just exited. Yep, that's the planet I've just exited. Not bad, and we're heading towards it because of gravity. Let's just back up, because that's all bad. There you go. That's leaving the planet. So we were on that, right? Now, there's a weird thing about this one, and there's something I was very unhappy about. As far as I can tell, planets ain't round on them. You can land on here, and you will land on the planet that you're going to, right? As in, if I go down there, I will land in that bit of the planet that I would expect to land on. But when you're on the planet, it's a flat plane, which means you can't go to the poles. But, again, that is planned to be changed. So I'm going to spin round and have a quick look around. Ooh, there's an asteroid belt. Should we go to the asteroid belt? Let's go to the asteroid belt. Sweet. So we'll head over to the asteroid belt. And there's a reason to go here because there's some resources here that you'd want to mine. There's a couple of different planets. There's that red one there. There's that frozen one down the bottom. And there's another one elsewhere, I think. Could be wrong about that, but yeah, there's a couple of planets. We'll head over, and I'm going to turn the ship off. There's no reason to just thrust. It's, you don't press, if you let go of the throttle, you will keep drifting. You do slowly, as far as I can tell. Yeah, it says generator turn off, and you slow down. You see my speed's lowering, and I don't know why. I don't know if there's any way to override that, because I would like to be able to drift. There is the MS Lightning, which is a ship that's already pre-built, and I'm coming in at fairly, heavy speed here. And... here's a space station. Look at that. Now, obviously, this is the creative mode that already exists, so all of these are pre-made, but there's no reason why you can't build a space station. Right, can I land? See if I can land on the other side. Do you want to land, or do I want to get in that? Oh, I really want to get in this. Should we get in this thing? Yeah, the space station's crap. Let's get in this. Now, it looks like there's a place to enter on the bottom, but I don't really care about that. Because there might be one around the back. Yes, there is. Yeah, it'd be a lot easier to get in the thing as well. So it looks like all of the engines are on. So there must be power to this thing. So I need to just go back into my cockpit. And slowly thrust in. I can't see because of the glare of my... my lights. I can turn all the lights on if I really want to. There's loads of lights I could change. Anyway, let's just land. Clunk. Turned off. And there we go. It's now landed. It's now docked. And we're on the station. Fantastic. Right, let's just go up this. This is a generator. I'm going to put all of the fuel in that I can. Any generator I find, I'm going to put fuel in because I have no idea. Oh my good grief. This has got... I'm guessing this requires a lot of fuel, this thing. These are all of the... bloody hell. These are all of the large fuel tanks. And these are the generators. And there's a lot of them. Can I just turn the ship off? Yep, and all the lights go on. Let's just turn that back on. In fact, actually, I've just realised that these are the gravity generators. If I turn that off, I can't actually go any further because there's no gravity, so I have to actually activate my jetpack and float about because there's no gravity. If I turn it back on, and then... Oh, yeah, there we go. We can see we actually do have gravity now. That's fine. Anyway, I'm going to go to each one of these and actually put some fuel in these ones. I don't know if there's any other way of fueling stuff like solar panels and such. I don't know. But let's just go up to them. I just don't know. You know, it's first impressions. I don't know. Right, in here. Going to keep continue going forward. Now this seems like a fairly large ship, but I don't know how large it is in terms of the overall game. Like, I don't know if other people have made anything bigger. But are we going to go to 10 forward or something? Yep, okay. Alright, we don't want that. We want the bridge. Where's the bridge? What's in here? Oh, bloody luxury apartments. What a pile of crap. I want this. I want the bit that controls the driving bit. I want the bit where I can drive. This game is starting to lag a bit now. But I am recording. Oh, for feck's sake. I've just got... You've got all the recreation areas. Where's the bridge? Ah, this looks bridgy, doesn't it? This looks very bridgy. So these are some nice little consoles that are, well, don't have any purpose, to be honest with you. This doesn't have any purpose. They're all just deco stuff, but maybe later on they're going to be changed. This is a passenger seat. Cool. But we really care about this, don't we? Pilot. We're now piloting the thing. It's a bit glitchy because I'm trying to look through the window, but if I press that, we now are on the outside, and we can move the ship. Oh my good grief, this is huge. Power left 7 minutes at current expenditure. Also has some weapons, and there's turrets on the top as well, you might notice. Right, let us spin around to another planet, and this thing does not like turning. Unsurprisingly, of a ship this speed. Come on, come on, come on. Oh my good grief, it doesn't turn at all. This is why you use small ships, you see. But this is a fairly big one. Let's just keep firing because it seems to work out. I don't know why. It doesn't do anything. There's a nice planet down there. It looks quite nice. Let's thrust forward, and I really want to buy some more thrusters. More thrusters are needed, because this thing does not stay. I'm actually wearing my mouse out, trying to turn the thing. Oh my good grief, it does not turn at all. It really does not move, this thing. Although, I guess it's a cruiser of some kind. Oh, there, it seems to turn there. Come on, turn. There we go, right, thrust forward, and see if we can get in this thing. Look at the speed, that's going up. And actually, I don't know whether this is atmospheric capable. I guess there's only one way of finding out, right? We will find out. I hope that my ship is still in the back end of this thing. If not, it's going to be quite embarrassing, isn't it? So, yeah. Apparently there's some drones and stuff that float around and try and shoot you that's recently been added in the last patch, but I haven't seen them yet, and that's sort of a good thing. We're getting close to this, so you can see the level of details increasing. Like I say, my graphics are lowest, so you know, I don't know if there's as much pop-up in that one. There's the atmosphere, and oh my god, if you continue flying, you will die. Well, that's a fairly interesting pop-up, and we are going to have to back up because of the gravity. So yes, it doesn't look like this thing wants to go into the atmosphere, and I don't blame it because it is bloody huge. Maybe it can. Maybe that pop-up was just I don't know. I assume that this thing... Did I turn the... What the hell's happened? Hang on, what? Ah, yeah, see what I've done there, I had my jetpack turned on and I flew out the front of the ship, and now that's going backwards. Well, you know what, you're seeing exactly how it is. That's, yeah, that's exactly what happened, I guess. Oh, yeah, it is still an alpha game, and what I would recommend you do is not have your jetpack on. Why fly backwards? And I also turned my ship off. I turned the ship off just before I got out the pod, which means there wasn't any gravity, and that's caused me some issues. Now I'm going to have to go all the way over here. I'm going to have to get back to that, aren't I? I am slowly heading towards it. Come on, can we... No, that doesn't fire in space. Could we just spawn? Could we just get a blueprint? Blueprints. Nope, there is no blueprints there. So we're going to just head towards the MS Lightning and hopefully get in the back and get my little ship and then head towards that planet because I want to show you another one. Looks like that's the one we came from. The red one is there. Looks like there's that thing there and then the one behind me. Hang on. If there's lightning there and that one's there, is that my ship? The Boba? It might be. I'm not aware. But this is going to take ages to get back. Oh my good grief. But yeah, this is actually a good opportunity to have a little bit now about a couple of things that I know people are going to ask. First things first. The elephant in the room, right? People are going to look at this and go, oh look, it's like Space Engineers. Okay, right, let's just tackle this thing head on. This is not Space Engineers, okay? Space Engineers is set in space. Obviously, I am aware that they are trying to do ground stuff and things like that, but it has deformity and, you know, they've gone for full-on building from the start of the game, and there's a lot of mechanical parts that are introduced in that there isn't in this. This is more survival on the ground. You start, you have to kill animals, you have to hunt, you have to grow your own food, you have to build all of the things, and you have to get from the ground into space and expand. That's what this game is about, rather than building like really awesome spaceships and fighting and things like that. Even though there's survival in Space Engineers, I am aware, and things like that. This is just a different beast. It doesn't have the deformity, and I don't think the physics engine is as robust. But obviously it does have planets and ground things, and what is planned is procedurally generated systems and then galaxies and jump drive and shields and cloaking and things like that. So that's what's planned in this one. Obviously, all of what you've seen so far generally works well. I've got a couple of performance issues, and obviously this thing where I've just jumped out of the ship, which is a little bit problematic. But overall, everything seems to be working, and that is good. And it does... If the game that it most reminds me of is Gary's Mod Space Build. And I've just turned this thing on, and hopefully jetpack, we will then land on the ground, which we are. Yeah, I've just turned the ship back on. It does remind me of Gary's Mod Space Build. The idea with Space Build is you start on the ground, you didn't have to survive per se, but you had to get oxygen and things like that to then survive in space, and then go to different planets. And that's what this thing reminds me of. And that's, I guess, what it's supposed to be. And let's just jump into this. Turn it on. Take off. And back up, and then head off, because this ship sucks. Well, it doesn't suck, but it's just far too big. This is huge. This is really big. And we're going to go to the other planet. There we go. But docking seems to work. All of the systems seem to work, and you know what? It seems to be fun, but it's not. It is not certainly not a clone of Space Engineers. It is, you know, similar in some respects, but its the overall idea of it comes from a completely different angle. Space Engineers seems to have started in space and is maybe edging towards ground with a little bit. This one's the other way around by the look of it. Or it's taken as a full sort of build. Anyway, we're going to head into the atmosphere. As you can see, a bit of re-entry there. And then poof, we're now in the atmosphere, which looks fairly cold to me. Yep, it does look fairly cold, and you can hear the wind. And it's fairly mountainous as well. The planets are big. Not as big as you would expect. But, you know, not as big as, like, you know, an actual planet, but it is big. So we'll head down. And we want to slow to a halt. And then go down. And land off. And there we are. We're on another planet. And it's snowing. And, ooh, look at this. Some things. What's that? I have no idea. What is it? A brown mushroom. Sweet. Is this ice or is it water? Nope, it's water. You would think it'd be frozen. Oh well, shame. Right, so there you go. There is a bit of Empyrion. Galactic Survival. I think it's good. I like it. It's not finished. But they're not claiming it to be. It's early access after all. But when I first started playing it, I must confess, it took me a long time to get into. And I actually persevered more than I normally would. Because I thought, well, There ain't a tutorial, which that's going to stumble a lot of people up. That's going to really stick people. And I thought, well, I'll give it a go, I'll give it its fair chance. I thought, I'm just not getting it, I'm not enjoying it, and I stuck with it, and because of that, I learned what I needed to learn. I watched some videos, I read the wiki and things like that. Just kill that. Kill a rock, yeah. Don't know, I was going to say, rocks aren't alive, but you never know on this planet. And I stuck with it, and I started building things, and I started to enjoy myself. And I actually survived, and, you know, got all the food, and made a base, and started making ground vehicles. And then, I've never made a proper space vehicle yet, but I jumped into creative like I've done here, and then flew around and went, yeah, now I can see what you're going for. Now I can see the potential of this one. And this is multiplayer, and as far as I'm aware, multiplayer works. There's no master server, so you just have to host it privately and get IPs and mess around like that. But as far as I'm aware, it works and people play it. And honestly, I can see a lot of people enjoying this. So, overall, yeah, I recommend it. I've probably put about 3.5 to 4 hours into it now, and I've enjoyed it. I actually don't know what the release price is at this point, but I know it's going to go up once it gets closer to release, which they're planning to be in early access for a year. My experience with early access is they're probably going to be in it for some time. Couldn't really say, but I don't think I've ever seen an early access. I think out of every game that goes to early access, probably less than 1% of them come out when they say they do. And most of them are still in it. But anyway, as it is now, it is fun, it works, there are bugs, but that's to be expected. But I think a lot of people, if they're looking for this sort of game where you are, you know, in a survival situation, you build different ships and you head out into space and do all of that and explore. Remember, there's different things to explore on the planets and things like that. I think you're going to have fun. And assuming the updates come regularly, adding new features and new systems and new things to explore, that was the best thing about Space Build. You would download a map and you didn't know what you would, you know, there's no point in building a really good spaceship to go into space if there's nothing there. Right? Procedurally generated worlds. Oh, look, there's nothing to explore. I'm now bored. Right? That's... Unless you just want to build stuff, you know, there's not much more to it than that. But assuming they're going to keep adding more stuff to explore and find and just, you know, have that sense of adventure, I think this is going to be a fairly decent one. And as it is now, as I said, I'm enjoying it. So, yeah, there you go. Links in the description so you can check it out yourself. I wonder if I can mine my own ship. Probably not a good idea because then I can't get off the planet. Ah, well, there's more at the place. Look at that. Look at that. Oh... That's outdone Tatooine. 1, 2, 3. Sweet. Anyway, links in the description so you can check it out yourself. Thank you very much for watching. Comments in the comments and generic partings. What the hell is that? What is that? Oh, it's the sun going behind. It's the sun setting behind the mountain. Pfft, balls to that. I'm not having that. Yeah, I can control time. Oh god, it's really dark. Look at that. That looks pretty cool. Sweet. Now that looks very good indeed. I was going to be ending this video. Right, bye!